We all have social media accounts, and they are wonderful at allowing us to communicate almost immediately. However, one drawback is that social media accounts allow us to have shortcuts to our emotions. And so students are likely using them in a way that doesn't allow for a sifting of opinion, for a putting together a logical sequence of ideas. Normally with social media, and this includes adults as well, we tend to emote quickly as opposed to processing slowly. So that's one of the many advantages to using a discussion board in Canvas, is that we can slow down the processing time, throw out a prompt to our students, and have them sift through a variety of opinions to help model and scaffold what good, clear thinking can look like. In our Canvas 101 videos, we showed you how to set up discussion boards, how to grade them, how to put beginning dates and end dates. And so in the Canvas 201 discussion board video, we would like to just kind of walk through and talk about some structures and tips and tricks on how to make discussion boards meaningful for your students. One of my favorite protocols is the ABC protocol. Now, I've added an extra C here, and you'll see why in a moment. One of my favorite protocols is the ABC protocol. Now, if you Google this, you'll find ABC, not ABC squared, because I've added citations down here at the bottom. This is something that you can share with your students on how to put together a framework on how to respond to other students. So the A stands for acknowledging the other student's input. This can be done by the instructor or by the student, but before you enter into giving your own opinion, it's always instructive and useful to acknowledge what the other person is saying. That way, you're building a bridge between the two comments. The other person knows that you're listening to them, or at least that you're reading what they've written. You're acknowledging what they've written, and then you begin your response after that. A conversation is not two people talking past each other, but two people building on top of each other's thoughts in hopefully a collaborative way. B, build on the student's ideas by adding content, perspectives, experiences, references to the reading, etc. And so this is something that I do ask my students to do, is build on the other person's ideas to extend the thinking of the group. You can also, in the build part of this protocol, you can also use terms like I wonder. So instead of making a solid statement that this person is always wrong or this experience is invalidated, you can use the term I wonder if we looked at this experience from a different perspective, ... So the wondering kind of blunts the edge of what might be taken as an attack. C, conclude with a focused follow-up question. And so one of the things that you can do is to lead your students to end their statements with a question. And again, you can use the I wonder protocol, or you can introduce your students to Bloom's taxonomy and have them end their paragraphs or statements with a high Bloom's level question. If we synthesized your view with my view, I wonder what that would look like. And that way you're leaving the door open to furthering the conversation because you're ending with a question as opposed to a final statement. And then the C2 part of this, the C squared part of this, is asking for citations in their initial post. So maybe even before they acknowledge the other student's input, you're going to want them to go find an article that is related to the discussion at hand and include a citation for a few reasons. Number one, students need to learn to give proper credit to sources. And then number two, students quite often forget to include citations in 6 through 12 work and even in college work. So practicing citing their sources, not just in a works cited page, but in the body of their paper, could be a nice little addition to this, to a discussion post, that would hone their writing skills.